There's a truth about life that nobody really tells you. Maybe because most people realize it only when it's already too late. When the moments they thought they had plenty of are suddenly gone. You wake up one morning and wonder where the last few years went. Same streets, same faces, same routine. You blink and a whole chapter disappears. The scariest part? You didn't even notice it happening. For a long time, I thought that was just what being an adult feels like. Less excitement, more responsibility. But that's not the truth. I simply stopped paying attention. I stopped being here. Time doesn't just pass. It slips away quietly, disguised as ordinary days. Every time you say, "Not today," time doesn't pause. It moves on without you. And the version of you who was meant to exist that day never shows up again. I used to wait for the right time to start, change, or say what I felt. But the right time is the biggest illusion we're ever sold. It never arrives wrapped in clarity or comfort. It only appears after you've already started. That was the first truth I learned too late. Life doesn't reward waiting. It rewards movement. Even slow steps count. Because while you wait to be ready, someone braver is already living your dream. The second truth came when I realized how easily comfort becomes a trap. It doesn't look dangerous. It feels warm, safe, familiar. But that's how it catches you. You settle, you repeat. And before you know it, fine has become your forever. Your brain loves comfort. It saves energy, avoids pain. But that same instinct quietly kills growth. You tell yourself, "I'll start tomorrow." And tomorrow arrives wearing yesterday's clothes. I began doing what I call small discomforts, tiny moments that stretch you. Like saying no when it's easier to agree, or doing the thing you've postponed 100 times. It's not about being fearless. It's about reminding your brain that fear isn't fatal. Then I learned another truth. Motivation is a lie we keep chasing. We treat it like fuel, as if we can't move without it. But motivation is emotional weather. It changes by the hour. And if you rely on it, you'll never start on cloudy days. What actually works is focus. It's not as glamorous, but it's reliable. When you focus, even tired, even uninspired, you trick your brain into progress. And progress releases dopamine, the reward chemical. So it's not motivation that creates action. It's action that creates motivation. I used to wait for inspiration to strike like lightning. Now I light the match myself. Because the brain learns to love what it does often. Repetition becomes identity. The next truth hit harder than I expected. Comparison ruins everything it touches. It steals joy, gratitude, even your sense of self. I'd scroll for hours, watching people with better jobs, better bodies, better lives. At least that's how it looked. And suddenly, my own progress felt invisible. But here's the thing. No one posts their full story. You're comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. It's not a fair fight. You lose every time. The day I stopped comparing, I started healing. Because happiness isn't built from what others have. It's built from what you're still becoming. The only useful comparison is you versus yesterday. Then came the truth about systems. For years, I thought I just needed more discipline. That if I could try harder, I'd finally be consistent. But discipline is like a battery. It drains fast. What you really need are systems that remove the need for willpower. If your phone's next to your bed, you'll scroll. But if you design your space to make good choices easy, you win before the day even starts. Discipline is hard. Design is smarter. Discipline is hard. Design is smarter. And finally, the hardest truth of all. Pain is not the enemy. It's the teacher. We spend our lives avoiding it, numbing it, pretending it shouldn't exist. But pain is the only thing that truly wakes us up. Think about the moments that changed you the most. Were they easy, or did they come wrapped in heartbreak, loss, and failure? I used to think pain was punishment. Now I know it's tuition, the cost of becoming someone new. Neuroscientists say emotional pain lights up the same brain regions as physical pain. That's why heartbreak physically hurts. But when you heal, those neural paths grow stronger. You literally rewire resilience. Every scar is proof that you learned something the easy way couldn't teach. Pain breaks illusions, not people. And if you face it instead of running, it turns into wisdom. So, what's the truth about life I learned too late? It's that we keep waiting for the right moment, the right mood, the right sign. But life doesn't start when you're ready. It starts when you stop waiting. Time is already passing. Comfort is already dulling your senses. Motivation is already fading. And pain is already shaping you, whether you notice or not. The question isn't when life will change. It's whether you'll be awake enough to notice it when it does. Because life doesn't change in decades. It changes in seconds. In the small, defiant moments when you decide to act instead of delay, to feel instead of numb, to try instead of wish. If you take one thing from this, let it be this. Don't wait to start living your life. Do one uncomfortable thing today. Say what you mean. Begin before you're ready. The truth about life is simple. It's happening right now. And if you're lucky enough to realize that before it's too late, you've already won the time most people lose. If you could send one message to your younger self, what would it be? Share your thoughts in the comments below. This was the If Verse, where reflection turns into change. Thank you for watching.